Hey guys, welcome back to Ryman Fitness and Nutrition. This is my new video series, so this is going to document my prep to my second show. So currently I'm prepping for Season B here in Adelaide. My plan is to prep for A and B and ICN. So I competed in ICN April last year. Currently I'm 23 weeks out when filming this, so by the time I release it, it'll be at the start of week 22. As long as the dates stay the same for Season B, we are going ahead. So each federation has said that they will run, even if we have to push back the dates to November, which is no big issue if it does happen. So essentially, if that does happen, just gives me a little bit extra time to prep. It just means we can do it slower, which essentially will be nicer, so we don't have to drop calories as much and we can cruise to the finish line. So obviously here in South Australia, we have been doing really well with the whole pandemic that's happening. We've had 3 days in a row with no cases. So essentially we are starting to reduce our restrictions, which is really good news, which does mean obviously that hopefully the dates are going to stay the same. Fortunately for me, I've been training from home for 1.5 years. So I've been, as usual, being able to train has been really nice. I do feel really grateful for the home gym. Last year in April, I competed in the ICN Adelaide Classic. It was my first show because I focused on a lot of different things. So my background was in basketball, where I won a number of trophies like Best and Fairest, etc. And then I got invited to try out for country state basketball, but then I realised playing centre, being 6'4", that I was by far the smallest centre that they've probably ever seen. I didn't get selected, and then I started playing football for South Adelaide, played under 15s, 16s and under 19s, and then a year in reserves as well. I kept pulling a hamstring and then decided to pull in the pin for that. Then I took up Kudo, which is essentially MMA, but you wear a face mask, so I could end up going to work without looking like I've been hit by a truck. I competed in a state Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition where I managed to place third for the state, but then my real passion was obviously lifting weights, and I focused more on lifting weights than training for anything else. So I decided to finally delve into the realm of bodybuilding. So at the show I competed in first timers over 77 kilos and open. I managed to get 3 bronze medals and a silver medal, which I was extremely proud of for my first ever show. With my feedback, what I got was that I needed to increase overall muscle mass, which is fair. I did lose out to 2 guys that were shorter but also probably did have more mass than me, which is quite fair. I thought my posing and my conditioning I was really happy with, but this year I want to take that to a whole new level. So essentially I'm going to chuck 2 pictures up on screen. This was when I started prep in 2018, and then that led into the 2019 comp. I was sitting at 95 kilos and I was at 17% body fat. My lean muscle mass was 17%, and then the picture on the right is currently a couple of days ago. I am 95 kilos again, and I'm sitting at 15% body fat, and my lean muscle mass is up to 81 kilos, which I'm extremely proud of, because this off season has been a lot of hard work and a lot of consistency. So this is just going to be a brief summary of how I'm setting out my training and my nutrition, because I'm going to do 2 separate videos explaining how I'm going to train throughout this prep, and also how I'm going to reduce calories and continue to change my diet to get ready for the stage. So essentially, my training, I run a push-pull legs. I'm trying to train each muscle twice a week within 48 hours, as long as I've recovered. Just because if you look at the literature on muscle protein synthesis, you actually see that after 48 hours that muscle has stopped actually growing. So I like to hit it again, which has been able to really change my physique in terms of how I want it to go. So the start of the week, I'll actually start with the strength base. So I'll start with rep ranges between 4 and 8, just trying to focus on that real strength and explosive motion. And then by the end of the week, in that second 3 days, I'm hitting rep ranges between 8 and 12 for the compounds, and then for my isolation, say like flyers or drop sets, etc., I'm trying to hit somewhere in the 15 to 20 rep range, just trying to make sure that I hit all those ranges. And my current diet, I'm currently sitting at 3,000 calories because I am a full-time teacher and I teach PE, media and robotics. So obviously we're not running full classes and it's school holidays at this moment, so I'm not being as active as I usually would be. I'm still going out for a walk with the kids and the dogs, take the dogs down the beach, etc. But I'm not running around, I'm not doing any high interval training or anything like that. I'm just doing my hour and a half weight session and then probably an hour and a half walk and just kicking the ball around out the back with the kids, etc. So 3,000 calories, I'm quite happy with at the moment. I feel content. I'm not counting vegetables yet, so essentially the number will probably be higher than what it currently 3,000 is. But other than that, there's no real reason to change anything. For the last month I've continually dropped, lean muscle mass has gone up and body fat's coming down, so I'm very excited to be able to chip away for the next 22, 23 weeks, and even if it's longer, I'm excited to bring this series to you. So if you like this content, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and keep up to date with all my content. Keep making some gains.